today we are here to discuss Uday's sixth book in question, Homo Destructus, Animals Paid the Price.
Can I start with a question?
Oh, of course, it's your session. You can just take
Yeah. So did you have any slithering visitors in your home since yesterday when we were on the call?
no slithering visitors, though I have this, well, I know you will not treat it like that, but this cough inside me that, oh my God, kahin se, visitors to nahi aa rahe, because I just don't know how to welcome them as yet. You know?
Yeah, so this is actually very related to the book. So I'm going to ask you a next question, okay? Yeah, so why are you terrified of snakes?
Because of the fact, or yeah, the fact actually that they bite.
Okay, is that factual or is that assumed?
I'm assuming it's a fact.
Good. Okay, cool. A slippery answer. Okay. Okay, but let me tell you something, right? You know, only 20% of species of snakes in India are venomous. Okay, land snakes.
Okay.
And those are also less prominent. So actually, if you come across a snake, chances that it will be venomous is 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 at the maximum. Okay. Secondly, venomous snakes. Let's take cobra. Do you know what it eats?
As long as it's not me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know actually. I don't.
So it eats small mammals usually.
Oh.
Right? You're far too big for a cobra to eat. Okay?
All right. I know everybody's told me lose weight.
No, all of us. I'm saying all of us. I didn't mean it that way. All of us, right? So here's a fact. Now, when you talk about fact or assumption, and this is related to the book, so there is a certain place I'm getting to, okay? The cobra, the snake, is far more scared of you than you are of it.
Okay.
It is unlikely to attack you except for 2 circumstances.
Okay.
If it is cornered or if it feels threatened.
All right. Okay.
Otherwise, it will escape.
Yeah.
So
all right.
there is no real reason to be scared.
Yes.
Of the snake.
And I get where you're getting at now. I get where you're getting at now, because we have these preconceived beliefs and notions, I think, you know, or assumptions, which we all live with. And therefore, yeah, you're going to help wash them away, right, Uday?
With the Garden of Eden, right? The snake was portrayed as evil. I was watching this movie, The Bobbit, you know, the 5 armies, the recent, I don't know, the recent, is the last one of the series, right? So there is this Bilbo, no? Bilbo is the protagonist. Bilbo and is asking the sorcerer, what's his name? Whatever. He's asking the sorcerer, you know, why is the king of the dwarves going up the mountain with his best warriors? So they're leaving the battlefield. The battle is raging and they're leaving the battlefield, going up the mountain. He says he's going to cut off the head of the snake. We've demonized animals. We've demonized animals.
Yeah.
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 So
That's the thing. As humans, we assume, we pretend with, I don't know, misplaced authority that we are actually the owners of this planet. Yeah. That just because we have certain extra senses, so to speak, of the mind and whatever.
There are lots of animals which have many more extras. We don't have sonar. We don't have ecolocation. You know, there are lots of animals, many more. No, that's not a sense. It's not an extra sense. It's something created. Anyway, so I'll just bring this argument closer to home because it's the theme of my book, right? Yeah. Usually people in the city come across dogs and cats, right? So in the complex we used to live before, you know, Maggie when she was young, now she's 8 years old, but when she was young, she had a friend called Rufus. He was a happy podgy, you know, as labs are, you know, 1-year-old, nice and podgy. And it was raining, so they had got dirty in the chikkal. And he just came running out of a bush, right? And there was a lady walking there, and he happened to go past her. He didn't go to her. this woman started saying this dog attacked me. So I went and talked to her. I knew her. I said, look, don't misrepresent. Okay, you got scared. I understand, right? But don't say you were attacked. And then she goes in front, gathers a group of people, and she's telling them he attacked. Then she goes, gathers another group, and tells them he attacked. And the next day morning, she had instructed the security guards that this dog should not be allowed inside. So when those people came, that lady called me to say they're not allowing me inside the garden with Rufus. Now, you tell me, how can one explain this behavior? Now, this is where it comes down to. Like you say, we take this superior attitude with animals without taking cognizance of what is called sentience. That they are sentient.
So I was just scrolling through the Q&A questions also over there. Tanushree had a question. So, what do you think makes us feel so superior to them?
Okay, that's answered in my book. But basically, man gods.
Sorry?
For man gods. We created man gods. For most of human history, we lived off the land.
Yeah.
We were in sync with the environment. We created gods in nature. We worshipped the air, we worshipped the trees, we worshipped animals. I visited a tribal village in Bastar. Do you know Bastar? It's now in Chhattisgarh.
Yeah, I know.
So,
yes.
They had a deity there. There was a peacock feather and a palm leaf. That was their deity. It was a huge deity. Every year, the villagers from all around the village gathered there for a week of festivities. Every year. What does peacock feather and palm leaf represent? Flora and fauna.
So, flora and fauna. All right. Yeah.
No, so for most of, we've forgotten these things, because religion has brainwashed. Now, I'm not trying to be an anti-religionist, but this is because I have been an atheist since I was 15, 16, but I have not been what is called anti-religion. I've just made my own choice, right? So I have nothing against people who are religious.
It's a personal choice.
It's a personal choice. Exactly. But what I'm saying is that, till for most of human history, do you know how long we have been living in societies? Homo sapiens is 200,000 years old, but we've been living in societies for at least 50,000 years. There are documented societies of 50,000 years old in Africa still, So, through that 50,000 years or 200,000 years, we have revered nature and lived in harmony. And then religion came up and created man gods. So religion said created mankind in our own image. I like to say we created gods in our image. Because that is how it is. Because religion is a human construction, right?
Yeah.
As soon as we created man gods, we put ourselves above everything else.
So that tell me a little bit, or rather tell the people watching us a little bit about what you're sharing through your book and the message that you want to, leave people, the thought that you want to leave people with once they read your book.
So the book is really about two things, okay? It's about animal welfare and environmentalism. Now, these might seem like disparate topics. Issues of animal welfare and environmentalism are very interlinked, right? But not so much companion animals because they live in our habitats. We have not gone to their habitats, right?
Yes.
They suffer, they have hardship, there is a lot of cruelty, there is culling happening, all that. Apart from that, there is gross cruelty in puppy mills. And then I came across the mistreatment of animals in scientific laboratories. The worst is factory farms. Today I came across a number. I used to think there are 70 billion animals in factory farms, out of which annually, that's 10 times the human population.
All right. So yeah, let's hear it from you.
Yeah, so my question was, do you think there's, I think it's a mindset issue in general, mindset as a whole. So do you think there's any way that it can change, or is it just too deep-rooted to actually make a difference?
No, Anika, you people have the hope. Really.
Yes.
The older people are too entrenched in mindsets and habits and behaviors. Even if they want to change, it is extremely difficult for them to change.
Yeah,
But hope rests with youngsters today. Because not because they're the ones who can make a change happen, but it actually is going to affect them. Like I was telling somebody the other day, we screwed up the planet. You are going to pay for it.
You are the saviors. Let me ask you this, Udit. You were saying people under 25, the youngsters, from the perspective that this change is going to take a long period of time, is it? Is that the reason you're saying?
Not only because of that. I'm saying they are much more open. And I find this cognizance of our nonsense, they are more aware of. They are more cognizant of damage that has been done and is being done. You talk to youngsters today, you will find many youngsters who are very sensitive around these issues, sensitive to these issues.
Description here, right? And it says, what? The book also carries a more ominous lesson for younger and future generations. The immense suffering we inflict on animals results only in an incalculable great impoverishment of the human spirit, as Einstein put it, but also a more catastrophic loss in the free ecosystem services that we take for granted. Yeah, the vision of a more prosperous future is illusory because it will backfire sooner than we think. Yeah,
you might to go extinct in the next 40 years. You know that? 40 years. Children won't even grown up.
That's food for thought, guys. Everybody over here. So what I say, because of the way we are living today, because of the way that we are treating animals on this planet, sorry, not our planet, on this planet, right? Two things are happening. One is, of course, the animal cruelty, which is absolutely unacceptable. And the second part is, maybe without realizing, we are writing in stone our own doom, our own extinction. Am I right?
Yeah. So that's what the book is really about. So it's really about animal welfare, environmentalism. It is saving the planet for future generations. And the only people who can do that is younger generations. So